This is the grumpy one. I've never made a video for YouTube before, but here goes. I spent a few hours on Joe Biden's website today, and I found out a few things. A few things I knew, and some others were revelations, such as the healthcare plan. You will get free healthcare. You will be eligible, and it will be basically enhanced Medicaid, Medicare, which many people don't want now. The government decides what you get, what you want, and what you need. So if you need to see a specialist, and it takes you 3 to 6 months, if you're lucky, to get into that specialist, then so be it. It does not mention once what they're going to do to pay for it. They're going to raise your taxes. Yes, they're going to raise your taxes on top of that premium that you're paying right now to your employer. Will go to the government to pay for this program. Now, you also hear Joe Biden say we're not going to raise taxes on anybody making under $400,000 a year, which in New York and California, for instance, will be around 62%, including state taxes. And you can figure that up for whatever else other state you may live in. He will also repeal the Trump tax cuts for the middle class, which means anyone making under $400,000 a year will automatically get a tax raise. Have not addressed that. They both avoided it with all they had at the debates and questioned after that. Now, the First Amendment, if you don't like the censorship that Facebook and Twitter has been doing, well, get ready for more of it if he's elected. Because if you think that this crap that's going on with Hunter Biden or any of these so-called moderators at these debates is going to just stop after November 3rd, then you're sadly mistaken. What are they going to do when they don't have anybody to stand up against them? When they don't have anybody questioning them? They're going to erode the First Amendment and flush it down the toilet. That's what's going to happen. As far as the Second Amendment goes, on his website, according to this, I would be a felon 10 times over. If you own a magazine that holds more than 5 rounds for any weapon, a .22, a rifle of any type, you will be a felon unless you pay an additional $200 to the ATF and register that weapon. There is also a gun buyback program where they will use your tax dollars to buy back your weapons if you do not register them with the ATF and pay that other additional $200. If you do not register them, if you do not pay the ATF the additional $200 per item. So if I have that little .22 rifle that has 3 7-round magazines, I would have to pay the ATF $600 to possess those 3 7-round magazines. They will automatically outlaw gun manufacturers from making any weapons of war, as they call them on the website. So no repair parts, no replacement parts, no online gun sales, and universal background checks. There is currently a background check. I personally, a few weeks ago, watched a woman was refused at a local gun shop because 20 years earlier she had slapped her husband in public and had a domestic violence charge against her from 20 years earlier. Her husband was standing right next to her. She was denied. So if you do not think there's background checks when buying a firearm, you're sadly mistaken. Now, there's also Kamala and Joe want to legalize cannabis. I've advocated for cannabis legalization in my state for a couple of years now. I think it would be a great health benefit. In that, it is tied into the healthcare program. So the government will decide if you get it, when you get it, how much you get it, and if your diagnosis qualifies. Otherwise, you will not get it. It's as simple as that. So if you want more government control of every single aspect of your life, go right ahead. Check that box. Now, this is a disclaimer. There are Democrats in Kentucky that I vote for. There are several of them that are good people that do not believe what the federal Democratic Party believes. Just as there are Republicans that I do not agree with. Vote for the person, not the party. I'm sorely disappointed in the federal Democratic Party and many of the Republican Party, I apologize. One can't shut up long enough to get anything done, and the other can't find their spine in order to stand up for themselves. So, go to the ballot box, find a good candidate, do your research, look these people up. Don't just believe what these damn flyers and all this media bullshit has said. Go to their websites, read. Read about the candidate. Look them up. Do not take it for granted and do not believe the crap you see on TV or the media, because they're going to spin it to whoever owns their asses on the TV. Look them up, read them, and go vote.